Welcome to today's workshop / webinar on how to not let your corporate communications go unread, how to turn all of your key messages into videos that actually gets noticed. We know that there is a lot of time, efforts, and often people that go into writing all of the company reports and corporate communications that a company has. And we also know that a lot of communicators, social media, marketing managers are more or less just asked or given a full report and asked to do something, publish something interesting about this. And then there's the challenge of actually getting people to see and read all of the stuff that you have. So hopefully today we will show you how to get that valuable information in front of a much wider audience, how you can actually fill your content calendar with the text-heavy documents, the policies and the procedures that you already have. It's a goldmine for content. So when you leave today, we hope that you have gained some insights on what you can do and how you do it. Whether or not it's for your colleagues or your stakeholders, or maybe just the general public. So a little agenda for today, what we will try to cover. We will do some of the, like a short basic introduction to corporate communications, how we do it, what it is, when we're supposed to do it, to make sure that we're talking about the same stuff. We will convince you, hopefully, that social media is the go-to place for all your corporate communications. We are the company that we are, so we will convince you that video is the best format for all your corporate communications. And we will have a look at how to create all of those engaging videos using StoryKit, and then we'll workshop. And us trying to be your hostess today, or your European hostesses, we want to introduce ourselves quickly. My name is Heidi Bordal. I work as a community manager here at StoryKit. I do the distribution of all of the amazing content that the colleagues in the marketing team that I work in do, try to get out all of our messages to our audiences. And I am co-piloting with
Matilda Lund is my name, and I work with customer success here at StoryKit, meaning that I get to meet all of you fantastic customers and users that are in our tool. So maybe some of you actually have me as customer success manager. I know some of you have registered for this session. If not, you are most likely meeting with any one of my colleagues in the customer success team. And I hope to bring some, valuable insights and perspectives from my daily work and working with StoryKit and video and corporate communications every day. So that's me. Yeah, first things first, maybe we should mention that we do have if you're not aware, we do have a Facebook group called Video for Social Media. And if you are not already part of this group, we encourage you to join even today. I will post in the chat the link to the groups that you can join, because we will get back to this group actually later on today when we will do our workshop part. But the whole point with this group is, it's Heidi actually who's in charge of it, being the community manager. But here it's like a safe space for people who want to talk about social media or video specifically. We have some clients who are here posting videos that they are happy with. Quite often Heidi is posting, updates in the tool and tips and tricks to think about when working with video. So this is a great space to be at if you are a user in StoryKit or just interested in video in general. Right, Heidi?
Exactly. Please join. We'd be happy to have you. And there is, might mention that there are you request to be part of the group, and when I leave this the rest of the presentation for Matilda. I will go into the group and make sure that you're all let in, so to say. But first, let's do some talk about corporate communication. What is it? We've gathered some quotes that I really think shows the diversity of what corporate communication is. We could just call it all communication. Gartner defines it as the management and orchestration of all internal and external communications to create a favorable point of view and prompt desires, behaviors among all stakeholders. Maybe we can just call it branding. Corporate communication helps organizations explain their mission, combine its many visions and values into a cohesive message to stakeholders, if you ask Wikipedia. But maybe it's more like PR, because according to the website Internets, it's generally synonymous to the term public relations. Is also referred to as strategic public relations and strategic communication management. So it really sums up that it spans from marketing, brand, PR. It's a diverse field of communication. But what it does is that it means conveying company information towards the stakeholders of an organization, such as media, investors, clients, and employees. So when you're doing corporate communication, you're talking to a lot of people in a lot of different ways. You do press releases, reports, you hold press conferences, all of the crisis communication that you eventually or hopefully not have to do, all of your investor relations, your responsibilities as a corporate sustainability work that you do, and of course the internal communication towards your employees. Now, why is this a lot? There are so many texts. And why is this important? Well, a strong corporate communication strategy will help you deliver a cohesive brand presence and expand reach across channels, which in turn will help you streamline your goals and activities, minimize gaps in communication, and bring everyone on the same page. And bringing everyone on the same page is vital when it comes to keeping your employees informed, meaning they will be engaged and motivated. Because when people or employees feel that they have a strong insights to all of the company updates and policies and procedures, people tend to work more efficiently, more effectively. And in contrast, a lack of all of that will eventually lead to misunderstandings, decreased productivity, and disengaged employees. And none of us wants that. And the same thing goes outwards for the external communication. Because today, if you fail to bring engaging and transparent corporate communications, it might have a significant impact on your brand's reputation, all of the relations that you have with your investors, your customer loyalty, and in turn, perhaps even your sales. So having a level of transparency and accountability that actually stand up for what you're saying, that will just build more trust with everyone.
Yes. And we thought that since this is, webinar slash workshop, and we want you to be engaged, we decided to make a poll out of this. So I think Heidi can add it.
Yes.
Sure. So we are a bit curious about all of you who are here today. When it comes to corporate communications, as we've stated, it's so many different things. It's such a broad part of your communication, of course. So what would you say is your biggest challenge? And here we have some different options, either be it finding the time to produce corporate communications content. It could also be a typical case, not having any ideas for what to publish, what kind of content to actually create. Or the third option here, getting your actual target groups and your audience to view or read what you are publishing. Or if you have anything else that you're struggling with, please share that in the chat and we can take part of it. Let's give people some time to answer, Heidi, right? And then we can see the live results, hopefully. It really is Eurovision.
The results are in.
Exactly. Europe, we have
We have a result.
But I think all of these, I mean, they can coexist, right? So it could be not finding the time and not even knowing, and then you have this catch-22 when you don't really know what to do and you end up doing nothing. I think this is quite common challenges. At least when I talk to clients, all of these are being mentioned at least.
Yeah, definitely. They often go hand in hand, the challenges. I mean, one doesn't remove another, I'm afraid. And it can also, I mean, it goes from day to day, week to week, what you're struggling with. But it's really interesting to see finding ideas for publishing corporate communications is in the lead right now. Closely followed by getting your target groups to view or read your corporate communications. I can only say that we're in this together, and I feel you, I hear you.
Yeah, what would you say, Heidi, who is working with this also for StoryKit, in your role, what has been or is challenging for you would say?
I think I would say that it's a close tie, is that an expression, between getting target groups to actually view or read the stuff that we do, and also finding time to do it.
Yeah.
Since I work where I work, I don't usually struggle with ideas, especially not for for other people, sometimes for myself. But yeah, it's you spend a lot of time sometimes on a post that you think is going to go really well, and it just goes to the place where LinkedIn posts go to die. You never know that beforehand. And then you have to find the time to redo it, redistribute it, repurpose it. Yeah, it really is a little bit of everything, I guess.
Yeah. Should we see results maybe?
Yeah. I'm going to end the poll. Last chance for you to leave your vote.
Let's see what we managed to. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Finding ideas seem to be the leader in this forum, at least, followed by getting the target group to actually view or read, and then lastly finding the time to produce. But yeah, luckily we will touch a bit about upon this today, how to find actually ideas and how to, because as you said initially, Heidi, so many companies, you have so much information that you're not doing anything with. Like, you are all sitting on a pure, I would say, gold mine. You have so much information that could be turned into great, content, great posts, engaging information. Hopefully we will have some even more ideas for that after today's session.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone who answered.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right. So there's obviously a struggle to getting people to view or read all of the great stuff that you're doing, that you already have. We're here to tell you that you should share it share it on social. Why should you do that? Well, today's climate, people are, as we all know, overwhelmed with messages and information, and that means that you can't really rely on media anymore to share messages. You have to create your own media house. Social media and posting from your own channels is also the best way to take control over the messaging, to shape your own narrative. Because, as we've said, corporate communication is often very dense, text-heavy, complex information, and this is really where we need to take control over the output, especially if you're dealing with heavier stuff like responsibilities and perhaps sustainabilities. You want to own that message for yourself. And social media is also really the place where you can talk to the people that you want to talk to. We will discuss this further a little later on. And this is what corporate communications too often looks like. I saw my own mother doing this the other day. She reposted a PDF from the company that she works at, and I wanted to be the evil daughter that I am and comment on her post and ask, why, mother, should I bother reading this? I didn't, because I'm a nice girl. But yeah, this is probably or never a good idea. Why is that, Matilda?
Yeah, I mean, this too often, I would say, this is what like corporate communication looks like. And I've seen this example. Now I've done an example with my own name, but I'm sure you get the point anyways. Like, as we stated on the previous slides, if you've done this, I mean, you are already on social. So that's the first step, right? So kudos to that, really. You are on social, but just being on social media, for instance, LinkedIn in this case, it's not enough. I wish it was, but it's not. Like, we can't just post things on our LinkedIn site, or LinkedIn page, expecting people to just do what we wish them to do without any kind of strategy or idea or, KPI and so on. So we need to be very strategic here, and just posting a link like this to your annual report, for instance, because it's that time of the year where many companies do so, or quarterly reports as well. It's, to be honest, it's not very intriguing. Like, why would you always have to keep in mind, like, who is going to take part of this? Who are you trying to reach by doing this? And honestly, it's not very intriguing just to see this on your feed. I'm sorry to say, but it's not anything that stands out in your feed. So people will most likely not pay any attention to this. I mean, why would they even? And it's by doing this, if this is the only basically way you talk about your annual report or your corporate communication, you only give this one chance to perform. Like, you post this on your LinkedIn page and then it disappears out on the World Wide Web, and it disappears in the algorithms. Nothing else will most likely happen if you only do this. And another thing I think is very worthwhile mentioning is that this is not accessible either, because I think many do this. We are on our phones too many hours a day, scrolling when we really shouldn't. Maybe at work, when we are, I would say commute, but that's normal that you scroll through your phone when you're commuting. Maybe when you're even in the bathroom, when you're in the kitchen, when you're cooking food. I mean, we're scrolling all the time. And let's say that I'm on my daily commute to work. It's not that big of a commute for me. It's like 20 minutes. But let's say I'm scrolling through my LinkedIn feed there, and I see that the company I'm following has published their annual report. But normally this is information that would take me around, I don't know, an hour to digest all in all. So if I were to see a link that would redirect me to a PDF, it's impossible for me to take part of that information while commuting to work, right? It's hard for me to leave like the platform where I'm at, because I will have to be taken into this environment with a PDF. It's not even a given that I can read it on my phone, for instance. So most likely what will happen is that I will just continue scrolling and miss out on this information. So it's really not an ideal way of either engaging with your audience or making them stick for the message that you are trying to convey. So that's, Heidi, why it's not a great idea to do this.
Thank you. Now I know. Okay, but we have a suggestion on how to make it a bit more intriguing. The answer to that is, of course, video. Because we do believe it's in our mission and vision in our corporate communication that video is how you easily turn ordinary information into extraordinary stories. Because as we've been saying a couple of times, the complex, the dense, the hard to consume information that often is the case with corporate communication, it's hard to digest for people. And while you're not supposed to make one long video out of your full report, you can instead make 20. Because I think that Matilda was really onto something here, and that I think we should emphasize that if you're commuting, or you have your baby on your arm, or you're in a meeting, maybe scrolling, no one's going to expect the stakeholders, your investors, or the general public, or your employees to want to take part of the same kind of information. They want to choose themselves what they find. They only know themselves what they find valuable in one report. So for the stakeholders, the investors, it might be highlighting some really interesting numbers on how well you performed the past quarter, while for me in the public, might want to know a bit more about the sustainability work that someone does, or an employee might want to know about some new policy that's going to be really interesting the upcoming year. And this is really what you can do with video. And today we live in a social world where people expect what we call bite-sized content. The short bite-sized pieces of content that's easy to consume. It's also the easiest to share and engage with. Share to your colleague over lunch, or your father's best friend that's an investor, perhaps. But it's great for repurposing. And you're probably already sitting on a lot of assets, such as images or video clips from your company, and you can reuse them in a great way. This is, of course, what you can easily do in StoryKit to create that cohesive messaging, take control over your message, shape your own narrative with your own branding, take pride in doing what you do, show people that this is from your channels. And as a video creator, as we call ourselves, of course, this really forces you to think about your audience. Because, as we said, if I want Matilda to read our company report, or if I want a hopefully potential customer out there, I would not go up to them and say, here's the report, read it. I would sell it differently, and I would try to persuade Matilda and the other one in different ways. And this is what you really can do with video. So tell the story in a way that the specific person finds valuable. And working with the algorithms is super important. We know that. We don't want to cause any more stress on the algorithms, but it enables the viewer to stay on the platform. The platforms like it. They don't want their audience or their profiles to leave and go to StoryKit's website. LinkedIn wants people to stay on LinkedIn. So sharing a valuable piece of information that leaves the viewer with a important message, lets them scroll on, is the best way to do it.
I can also add to that, Heidi, because now we talk so much about, social and algorithms, which is a key part of course, but then I think this is important, and speaking to your audience and knowing what the audience wants and what they are doing and how they are consuming information could be for internal purposes as well. For instance, I have a client that is in the transportation sector, and they are using StoryKit mainly for their internal communications, of course, and most of their employees are working with transportation in different ways, so be it a bus driver or a truck driver, but most of the times people who are not working with a computer 9 to 5 every day. So how are they supposed to take part of company information when they are driving all day, for instance? So what they did, actually, the solution was that they sent out information in video format to everyone's phones. So they are having an internal app basically for their employees where they can send and share information, which I thought was a great way of just adapting to the actual target group.
Yes. Yeah, totally super important. I can't remember now if I said it in this little webinar or if it was just to you before, Matilda, but I really liked how our CTO tried to make us read some fine print the other day about computers in the office. And would he have just left me with a message saying you need to read the fine print about computers at the office, I would say, I will, CTO, I will, in a couple of days. But he actually posted that message together with a video about that specific part of the fine print. And now I know all the rules about leaving computers in the office. Good. So I kudos to him and us. Okay, I've been talking a bit now, and I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so you can take over, Matilda.
Yes, please do so that you also can maybe accept people into the Facebook. Yes. And I'm gonna share my screen, and we can just also highlight or emphasize that all of you who are here, if you have any questions now, because it's of course only me and Heidi speaking, but please ask them. Post them in the chat here or in the Q&A session, and we'll answer them, be it anything really that you have questions about. But okay, now we've talked so much about like what is corporate communications, why should you turn to social, why should you do it with video and so on. And now you might wonder, okay, but what videos can I actually use then? What videos should I produce or create for the corporate communications? So we have some suggestions or examples to share with you. A perfect example is, as I already mentioned, reports. It is that time of the year. We are reporting, we're summarizing the past year and so on. So how can we do this in a more fun, intriguing, engaging way? Because to be honest, a report will always be a report. It's hard to do anything about that, but let's just take it for what it is and, try to make it more engaging and more fun. That's the whole point. So here we actually have one example. I'm going to try and play this. I think it works. Yeah, from Kinnevik, who instead of just posting their whole report, everything in a video, that would be a very, very long video also, I should mention. Here they're just highlighting a part or one perspective from their quarterly report with key figures. So that's one way to just making everything more, what should you say, more digestible even. Because I don't know about you, Heidi, but me personally, I'm not a numbers person really, but having it more, divided and spread out in this format instead of someone throwing a full report at me, this is much more, it's much easier to just consume. It's all about, why should you do this, right? It's about, as we have stated, ensuring that important information and messages, that they show the progress and direction of the company, really. And that as many people as possible, just to tie back to what we've said so many times now, adapt it to your audiences, because not everyone will be interested in this information, right? Someone will be more interested in the sustainability part of this, or the gender equality part, or whatever it may be. But dividing it in separate stories will make it so much more digestible. Yes.
May I, we have a question in the chat.
Fun.
From Andreas. He asks, nice slide in the Kinnevik video, please share its name. This one where the number goes up and the text, yeah, they do like this. That's the center flip, which is a really nice looking one. I agree. So center flip with the numbers right now.
Super nice.
And we have thank you, Andreas. We have a question from Erika. What format on the StoryKeep videos do you recommend for LinkedIn and Instagram? I'm especially unsure about the best format for LinkedIn. Well, formats are really something that we're gonna have a look at very soon. If you're looking for ways to share reports, we have 9 script templates for that on storykit.io/templates. So you can head over there if that's what you mean with formats. Or perhaps you're talking about aspect ratios, such as square or landscape. Yes, you are. So
yeah, that's a question we get quite a lot. To understand. I guess it depends. Like all formats work everywhere. I think that's important to just mention. So it's not really. I wouldn't pay too much attention to which format I'm posting it or posting in, but rather just making sure that I'm posting something, because that counts in the end.
we post in square 1:1. So I would go for square or the portrait, the vertical format, because that means if someone's scrolling on their phone, it's going to fill out a lot more of the screen on their phone. So your message is going to be all over the screen, which is great. But have a look at, if you're the admin of your LinkedIn account, which I guess you are, have a look on your followers and your visitors. They show graphs on whether they're using desktop or mobile. For us, it's really 50-50. People tend to visit our page with 50% from their desktop and 50% from their mobile phone. So that's why I use Square. I just try to avoid the landscape ones because that's just going to be very narrow on any screen. So go for Square, I think would be the easiest answer.
Yes. Yeah, great questions. Keep them coming. I'm gonna continue to next slide. Let's see. And just to give you or did we have another question, Heidi?
No, you're good.
I'm good. Good. Another example, because I mean, corporate communication can, of course, or is, of course, also the internal communication. It's not only about external communication, getting, shares or comments or engagement from your external stakeholders, but the internal ones are super important as well, right? So we have our own example here, actually. I'm gonna play this video. So internal communication is often, just updates from maybe management, company updates, weekly, monthly, and so on. But there's so many more ways to talk about internal communication and what's actually going on at your company. And we want to do as much of this as possible, right? Because we want our employees informed, because when they are informed, as Heidi said initially, they will feel engaged and even more motivated to, work better. So share whatever is happening within your organization, be it promotion, new hires, or organizational changes. Here in our example, we have our dear colleague Ludwig and his journey with StoryKit. He went from an SDR and now he's a sales team lead, I think even. So talk about that to just get more engagement and views among your employees, and as stated, keep the spirits high, basically. So it's not only management updates, it is also the everyday activities that is going on in your community or in your workspace, right?
I think to emphasize the transparency of a company is it builds trust among your employees as well. If they feel if they feel like they have insights on what's going on within a company, they will definitely work harder, I believe. Yeah. Not that I'm
and feel better doing so, hopefully. So yes, it can be many things, but just highlighting your employees is always fun as well, because you feel very appreciated as well.
This makes me want to become a team lead for sure.
Yes, exactly. Let's go to the next slide. So, okay, guys, you remember this now. I hope it hasn't been too long since we talked about it. So I think we've all realized that maybe this isn't the only way to talk about annual reports, or be it recruitment, or being other kinds of information or communications that needs to be spread out. It's never only one way of doing things. There's so many different perspectives and angles and ideas to just work with what you have. Because as we said, so many of you are sitting, you have a gold mine where you're sitting, because you have so much information and you really are the experts. You know what's going on in the company, within the organization. So think about that when sharing any kind of information. Really, there's so many different ways to talk about one thing, basically. So we can conclude, maybe we shouldn't do this. It's not the best way. How could we have done it, Heidi? How could we have done it this differently? Well, some suggestions for you. So instead of just posting a link to the full report, the full PDF that no one will have time probably to digest on their way to work or in a meeting, in between meetings, do this instead. Preferably with videos, of course, but turn them into separate story. The full report in itself is, of course, the master document or the master story. But by dividing them, as we've said now, into separate stories, you will be able to adapt it to different stakeholders, different target audiences, and so on. And it will be much easier to digest and thus more accessible to everyone. Because if you, like me, if you're not a numbers person, I won't really, get super excited about posts about key figures from a report, but rather I would be interested in any of these two stories, for instance. So think about that when reusing or when working with the content that you have and adapting it to different people, basically. And this allows you as well to stay on the platform. As we said, you don't need to digest the full report. It's enough to take in these messages at separate occasions. So throughout the whole day, you won't probably have, you can't set an hour aside to read a full report, but you can read maybe 10 parts of the report by watching 10 different videos or reading 10 different stories about different parts of the report, of course. So it's just about
for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just about.
Want to dive in?
Sorry, Heidi.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I get really excited. But allowing the audience to choose for themselves what they want to dive deeper into. Is it the numbers? Is it the sustainability? Is it the policy?
Exactly. So, and like the best part about this is, of course, that even if you're making even more, content, even more stories, even more videos, you don't have to really work necessarily much harder because you already have the core information. It's just about taking out bits and pieces and posting them perhaps on different occasions, different days. So you will have, instead of doing this, post once and then it's dead, basically. By doing this, you can distribute. You will have content for days, for weeks, for months. So you will thank yourself. So it's all about, as we say, work smarter and not harder. So that's also
truly. Yeah, I think I really have to say, I think this is if it's anything we should leave you with later on, they're like to reach more people on social, you have to do two things. You have to publish a lot to work with the platforms. They want you to publish a lot. No platform is ever gonna what's it called, punish you for posting a lot. And the only way to, because the thing about posting a lot is that the distribution you get is linked to the quality of the content. So if you post something that is good, it's going to get a lot of distribution because it's going to reach a lot of people because they will find it valuable. But if you post something that's not really good, it will just go to the place where posts go to die. And that's okay, because you will only get better and make more valuable content for your audiences by learning, by posting a lot. So just do it 1,000 ways. As you said, Matilda, take your one paragraph from one part of the report and make 3 videos out of that. Use a quote from your CFO or your CEO or an employee about the sustainable work, or take one number and make that one video. That allows you to publish, and that's how you get better.
Yeah. And this goes, of course, not only for reports, because not all of us are working with reports on a daily basis. I mean, this goes for any kind of content or information that we're working on. It could even be a recruitment ad. There's not one way of talking about a recruitment, an open position at a company. There are multiple ways of doing that. I mean, talk about the perks and the benefits from working at a company. That's one story. That's one angle. Another one is the person we're looking for. What's the requirements the company is looking for? That's another one. So there you have 2 posts, 2 stories to go with, and so on. So I mean, not only reports, but for any kind of information that you're trying to convey, there are always so many different angles and perspectives, and that's really what will give you that push whenever you're posting, because it's all about, you know, adapting to different people all the time, repurposing, reusing, and so on, reposting. Yes.
We do have a question.
Okay.
From Søren. Thank you for joining us. He asks, is it possible to post internal videos via Teams? We are a Slack company, so I'm not gonna promise anything, but I think that you can, if you make a video in StoryKit and you download it as an MP4 file, you can share that MP4 file. If it's available at your company, you can always upload it to your private YouTube channel and then share a YouTube link, if that works. So there should be, when we post videos internally on our communication platforms, like we post MP4 files or the static link that you get from the file. It's also very easy. I hope that answers.
Should work the same way in Teams. And also then Teams, it's Microsoft, right? So it should be SharePoint that you're using, which is usually the intranet. Maybe I'm just talking bollocks now, but there as well would be a page to post videos or other kinds of information and posts.
Very true. Thank you. So
thank you. Great question. Should we move on then? Next slide. So how, you may wonder, how can you do this in StoryKit? I'm happy you're asking, because I will tell you. So I would recommend, you know, working with this on a daily basis, as you know, depending on your level, but you probably know that there are different ways of working with this tool, right? Either if you want to do everything, control everything on your own, from every letter, every image, every color, and so on, or if you just want to, as we said, work a bit smarter and not so much harder, I would recommend using either the blank script function, and we have a small example preview here on the right side, where you basically can add text, any text that you've already written. So when you do this, you have already done, if you already have a text, say your report, because now we talked so much about reports, right? If you have that, then, I mean, you have already done 90% of the job when entering this view or this page in StoryKit. So add the text that you have in the tool, and we will give you a suggested timeline and story for you, which is super efficient in my opinion. But this is for you who already have maybe, as we said in the invitation for this event, if you have brought with you today a report or a press release or something else, you already have some kind of text, then I would say this is your best friend, the blank script function. But then let's say, because many of you said, the hardest part about corporate communication, right, is not knowing what to talk about, not finding any ideas. And that's why we have actually launched pretty recently around Christmas, the script templates function. And here you can actually choose from, we have a list of 99 basically templates, but you can also call it 99 ideas, 99 video ideas, 99 narratives, 99 structures, 99 instructions, you know, the list goes on and on. So here, if you don't really know what to talk about, choose one of the templates and let StoryKit guide you in how to actually write that kind of story. So there are different ways depending on both like the time you have to produce, or if you don't have any ideas, you don't feel like you have any inspiration. I would say script templates or blank script are your best friends for this purpose. And now the time has come for you, dear participants, to actually produce some videos. So although this is digital, we would love to try this workshop with you. So we have prepared some instructions for you. So we would like all of you who are here today to create and publish, I will get back to the publish part, at least one video. And as you have seen today, hopefully, and hopefully learned as well, is that one video can easily be, or one post even can be 3 videos. So at least one video is what we're asking. And how should you do this then? So first of all, decide which story, which angle, you know, which video you should start with, because as we said, you might have time to create actually more than one video, most likely. Step 2, decide whether you want to strictly follow a script template and let us guide you, let the tool guide you in how to actually put your story together. Or if you have brought with you some kind of material, I would recommend that you use the blank script. So you basically add the text that you have in the tool directly. And then when you're done, we would love if you could either publish these videos in this chat here in Zoom, so you can add the video link that is generated for you, so you don't have to post the whole MP4, but rather the link. And also in the Facebook group that we invited you to at the very start of this webinar, so that we can look at each other and see what we're doing, basically. And we think this requires about 30 minutes, right, Heidi? We don't need much more than that. If you're,
I think that should do.
If you're done earlier, maybe make a second or third video, or come back here, and me and Heidi, we will stay on the call to answer questions if you have any. You can also, and this is not only for today's webinar, you can always write questions directly in the Facebook group as well, and someone will answer you there. Yeah, I think I covered it all, what we would like you to do today. And yes, so 30 minutes. So let's say, yeah, around 11:20, we'll get back here and start posting the videos that we have produced. What do you say,
Yes.
Heidi?
I think that sounds great. I have now created a thread for you to post your videos or ask questions. If you want any creative feedback from us, not that you know, we watch a lot of videos, so we know a thing or two about what works. Please share your storyboard link so we can have a look at it. I will write the link to the thread post in the chat, and please join again in 30 minutes. We would love to see what you do. Andreas writes, see you later. Can't wait to see you back here, Andreas, in 30 minutes. And if you want to stay on the call, please do. Ask us anything, talk to us, share your struggles and your hurdles. We're in this together, as we said. We're here to help.
Yes, exactly. And I do think you can both write questions, but also I'm not sure you can, when we have webinar mode, if you can unmute and ask verbally questions as well. But yeah, please do so if you want to say anything, really.
And if you're ready within 30 and you have somewhere to be, of course, come back in 10 and handle in your assignment. Stuff is happening in the Q&A.
Oh, nice.
From Maren. Unfortunately, I need to leave for another meeting. Will you send the recording afterwards? Thank you so much. Of course, we can send the recording and also the slide deck
Yes,
with all of this juicy information. So yes, of course, Maren, have a great day and good luck on your next meeting. And we will talk digitally with all of the. Then we have one from Andreas. Tänkte göra en video om en kampanj, tips på lämplig mall. Okay, video template for a campaign.
Andreas, can you maybe say what kind of campaign it is? Is it for your products? Now, I know what you work with, but maybe I shouldn't say it in front of everyone. But please elaborate and we can give you a suggestion.
Julia also has to leave. Thank you for a great workshop.
That's fine. We're happy so many of you stay.
Thank you for joining, Julia. So happy to hear that you love working in Storykeepers. Marika, thank you for an inspiring session. Unfortunately, I have to leave, of course. Won't have time. Just heard that you will send a video recording. We will. Thank you so much, Marika, for joining us. I'm saying out loud what I'm typing. Have a great day. And we will be in touch with the recording and all.
Yeah.
Oh, plåt till extra bra pris, bara en vecka kvar av erbjudandet. 1 week to go for your plåt. Okay, so I would definitely, oh, you're in it, great. Definitely start off with 1 week left to create that.
Yeah, I think here, I hope I can, I think people see my screen, but here we have the information written for us. So what I would do here, it depending on, like, this can be so many different angles, but since it's a rather like it's soon ending, this offer, I would use the text that you've written here and just push that out as much as possible and talk about this. Maybe we don't need to, you know, talk about all the details about like every product, but rather just get the message out that you have a campaign right now, and get the message spread as much as possible. What would you say, Heidi?
I agree. You have so much great text already. If you want to use a script template, I'm looking here. I think.
Yeah, we can maybe look at it. We can look, for those of you who are still in the call, we can look at the script templates together. I think I'm still sharing my screen. If not, please let me know. Now I'm in this imaginary company. So product offer, maybe this would go under product offer. New video, and we want to use a script template. Select template, of course. So what is this about then? Which category? I would say probably product or service information, maybe. So here, I mean, there's, as we've said throughout the whole webinar, there's so many different angles to how to approach a product or a discounted price, or like any topic we're talking about. So one way of talking about an offer could be that, okay, why should you buy? Why should you, 3 reasons to why you should buy this product right now. Maybe one reason then is that it's on a discount, on a sale right now. So that's one angle. Another one would be then how can you use this product? Maybe that's something that will make someone want to buy it right now. So why should you use this product for anything? So that's another angle. So I mean, there's so many different ways of talking around it, but for you, I would say the how to or the good for template.
Also, if there's if you really want to highlight the 5 days left and that there's a limited time to get this campaign, I think that we could find one or another at event information, because
Yes.
promoting your event also has a lot to do with the don't miss out and save the date, make sure to be there. And so you can just tweak that message into instead being do not miss out on this campaign, to really like create a bit of a FOMO feeling with for your audience.
So here, save the date with promise is the name of this script template. So insert the last day of this offer, and that you shouldn't miss out on it because it's such a unique offer that you have right now on your marvelous products. So this is so short and sweet. Doesn't have to be more than that. So yeah, great, Heidi, great idea. That is even more perspectives and angles. Or here, this template is called "This One's for You," if I'm not mistaken. So here, of course, it's a story kit example. Hey, marketeers, need to create more video. Don't miss these 3 speakers. But for someone who is buying your products, then hey, insert target audience. Do you need to build a house? Don't miss out these products that are on sale right now. So again, even more. Now we've stated, I think, 3, 4, 5 templates that you could use for this specific case.
Yeah, I think that's great. Don't miss out. 5 days left of this great campaign. Make sure to get your måttkappad plåt today before it's gone.
Exactly. Working. Good, Andreas.
Working hard and smart.
Yes, exactly. Another question. Hi, we want to work more with employee branding, both internally and externally. Do you have any good tips and tricks to think about?
We do. I love employer branding.
I can just say we actually hosted an employee branding webinar not that long ago. I think it was a month ago, right, Heidi?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So we can, I would recommend watching that as well, where we talk about video for employee branding specifically.
Exactly. That's available on YouTube.
Yes.
And in the tool, if you head over to webinars that way. But I think, so working with employer branding, what we do mostly is that's connected to employer branding is that we do what's it called? Sorry, a colleague or an employee highlights to highlight a person working with us. We do have our own made template for that. So what I do is that I grab a colleague, perhaps that recently started or has been working with us for a year or so. I film them I do 5 sequences, one in which they're like walking in the office, so you get some environment frames, miljöbilder in Swedish, sorry. One when they pretend to work or actually work, what do I know? Talking to a colleague, having a cup of coffee, or leaving a room, entering a room, those sort of things. And then beforehand, I've sent them 3 questions on Slack or Teams. I asked them, so what do you do at StoryKit? Or what made you apply for this job? Or how come you ended up at StoryKit? What is the most exciting thing about your role? Or what are you currently working at that you want to highlight? And then, of course, something about them personally. So what do you like to do outside of work? And I take their answers, I put them in my quote slides, and I place the assets depending on where in the video I want to highlight them doing a specific thing. And so this takes me 20 minutes if they send the questions back to me straight away. So I really think because people love to see people, it's also great for our reach when we post this on LinkedIn, because I always make sure to tag the person that I'm highlighting, and that will expand the reach to their networks as well. So that's always like the most liked and commented post that we do is the employee portraits.
Yeah. And I think just in general, employer branding is also, it's very trendy, of course, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's very hard, because what is employer branding? It's about be attractive as an employer, both for like future potential employees, but also existing ones, because you asked Chantel about internal employer branding. And I think what we've stated today as well, so this goes for, any kind of information that just publish and keep people updated on what is going on. So it doesn't really have to be only, because I think that's what many people picture what employee branding is, that you're interviewing someone who's working for your company or at your company, but it could also be just the smallest things about how does it work with vacation at this company, and explain that in a accessible, engaging way. So just keeping people informed so that they feel informed, as we said, because if they feel informed, they will feel engaged and take more pride basically in working for you. So just to circle back to actually the script templates, we have, as you might see on my screen, a category only for employee branding, because of course, as I said, there's not only one way of doing this. You can talk about employee branding from so many different perspectives. So here we only have we have quite many of them. So be it today at the office, what is going on at the office? I mean, in our organization, we're not that big at StoryKit, but we have people who are working in other countries, in other parts of Sweden. Some are always working remotely, some are always in the office. How can you try to get people engaged and feel like they're taking part of your company, although they're not there physically? So I think this template is really, really good. Today at the office, is it called, where we are just, summarizing what happened today or what happened this week, this month, for the people who were at the office. And this is just a typical day at StoryKit, I would say, playing Mario Kart. But it still informs people about what is going on and what can happen if you also were to come into the office and so on. So that's also a great angle, but I think not many people think that would be employer branding, really.
Yeah, employer branding is so much about highlighting the culture you have. And culture is something that you have to reinforce consistently. And so you do that by sharing the stuff that you want more of. We are a cool company with a Mario Kart session each day, because we know that taking breaks is a good thing. And if that makes people more creative, go ahead, play some Mario Kart, play some table tennis, or go for a walk. So always reinforce the feeling that you want your employees to have internally.
Yeah. That was a long answer to a fairly short question. It's a very interesting topic, but I would also really recommend to watch the webinar we hosted a couple of weeks ago, just about employer branding. It's really, really good. And it's something that many companies in StoryKit are doing as well. So yeah.
Great, thanks. Once you answer a question by typing it, it disappears. But I also sent to, I can say to the rest, to Chantel, a article that we have on employer branding that also comes with 3 templates.
Maybe you can share in the chat also, Heidi, the link to the webinar, so people have access to it. The employer branding webinar.
That I can do, definitely. Let's get creative with employer branding.
Yes, that was the name, exactly.
Oh. So here is a webinar we hosted on employer branding.
Oh, now we have a question from Teresa. When I'm using the script template and I've filled the fields, how you say that in English, I've added the information basically. How do I then go on to the actual video that it has created? Great question, Teresa. Maybe I'm not sure the best way to answer. Maybe I should just again share the screen and guide you. So this would be from my own account, of course, but it works the same way. Let's see. And now here's the Facebook group, and here is the create. So when you've done a script template, we can just choose one to list to show you how it looks like. So you will be in this environment, and here ideally you would have filled out according to the instructions. So here 3 reasons to attend our webinars, maybe. Yeah, and then you just fill information. So you fill everything out. When you're done here, to just move on basically and starting to approach a final result, we first have to click view storyboard, because here we will have an overview of the actual timeline, the actual end result. And then we're gonna click create storyboard, because this, and then we can continue. I haven't filled out exactly according to the instructions, but that's fine. You get the idea. So what happens is that we will, in all ways, or in all, no matter how you create your videos in StoryKit, you will always end up in this environment. So we always need to get here before we actually can have our video ready. And once we feel that, okay, we're here, we don't need to change anything else, we're done with this, then we can go straight to the button that is called generate and click either preview or full. And when you've done that, you will see that it starts generating here in the left corner. But then again, when you are here, you might feel that, okay, I should maybe change the format, or I want to change some kind of detail that is not so much about the text, but rather the look of the video. That's what you can do in here. I hope that answered the question. Thank you, Teresa, and good luck. Does that mean that you are approaching a final video? Because if so, please share it with us when you're done. I would love to see it.
Yes, we would love to see it. Please post in the group. I would love to have some
interaction.
I would love for someone else to post about me.
Maybe we can actually just now I got inspired by Teresa here. Mario, he's almost done, he says also. Oh. Great. Just to, we have around.
Take your time. We don't have to. But I do not manage to add the outro.
Okay. Mario, where are you in the process? Are you in the script template or are you in another view? You're in the storyboard. Okay. So what I would do then to make sure I have the outro that I want is to manually, because that's the good part by ending up here, you can always add more slides. So I would click manually, add a new slide. And then here on the right side, we have our slide menu. So if you were to scroll down to the almost very end, we have a group for outro slides. Currently 3 of them. So if you were to choose just the one who is called outro, I would choose that one and it will, if we give it some time, we have an outro here. Then you see that the logo type is placed in the middle. And maybe here we have a CTA. Register for our next webinar today.
So Mario asks if he wants to add an existing outro from an existing video. Can they?
An existing outro from an existing video.
Is it a template? Is it a module?
Yeah, I would think so. Okay, yes, Mario, that is possible, of course. So what we would want to do is, this is level 2, I would say, of this webinar. But maybe we should just, I'm not sure if I should show it to you, Mario. What was the question? Add an existing outro from an existing video. Yeah, so what I would do is that, let's say I have a, where should I go? Here. I have, so this would be the video that you would want to extract your outro from, Mario. Now this is very not adapted to your specific example, of course, but let's say you want to reuse anything in here. What you can do is copy the ID from and just reuse the content somewhere else. So if we are super happy with this video, let's have a look at it. This is an old video that I've done about restaurants near our office. And let's say I would like to have the very same slide here. So it could be an outro, it could be an intro, it could be any kind of slide, really. So let's say we want to reuse this somewhere else because we're super happy with the setup of this video or this specific slide, right? What we should do is on the cog wheel here in the right corner, we want to copy the ID. So every video that we create in StoryKit, that you do, that we do, everyone, all videos, they have a unique ID in order for us to track them better and find them, but also for you to reuse anything that you've done in the past, or if you see something that someone else is doing and you would like to reuse it, then we can work with IDs. So we want to make sure that we can share the ID first and foremost. Again, this is now level 2 of this webinar. We just want to make it public. So what we're then going to do is copy the ID like this. You see in my bottom right corner that we have copied it. And then if we were to go back to this storyboard now that we want to integrate with the slides that we had in our old video, we can do this. So once we have actually copied a video and ID in here, instead of adding a new slide, we can press the 3 dots here in the upper right corner, insert storyboard. And here we can then insert our URL like this. And now you see we are merging the 2 videos with each other. But since we only want the outro in this case, I would just delete the slides I don't use, and then you have integrated it. And this is actually a webinar we will host in a couple of weeks. I'm not exactly sure when, but I'm happy you're asking about this because this is a feature that I think is very good, especially if I have some clients who are always working with the same intro and the same outro, but then they're changing, the content in between the start and the end. And then we add separate slides. So it doesn't have to be a whole video. that you're integrating to your existing storyboard, it could be a single slide as well. And that is something that we set up in templates and modules, which is not what this webinar is about, but just now that you're asking, something that we can build up in this view. So we can add basically our favorite slides, be it an intro or an outro, to have quick access to them from any video that we are creating.
That is great. I use the same outro on all my videos that I make, and I would never be able to do that as efficiently if I wasn't using it as a module that I just insert in my video each time. So it saves a lot of effort.
Yes.
I'm so excited for the first video in the Facebook group.
Me too. And Mario says, okay, then I'm ready now. Do I have to generate? Yes, so Mario, what you would do when you're done with your video anywhere, we can do this as example. You generate it, either full or preview. And then when it's done, you will have the green link here in the left corner, where you have a preview of your video. And I would then, what I would do is copy the link. So for my video here, copy the link. And then I would add it in the chat. I can do that as I'm writing. I can show you. In the chat, it was look like this. So you don't ever have to download any videos. Basically, if you want to send it to a colleague or share it with someone, you can always just copy the link, and the link that you will receive if you were to post that in the browser will take you straight to the video. So that is the link that we would like you to share in either the Facebook group or the chat here, preferably both.
I learned 2 new things today. That you can copy the link just from the 3 dots. I've always pressed the green link and then open it that way. I can just go over the 3 dots. And also that I can use the 3 dots on the add slide.
That you can.
I always click add slide and then go in between them to click insert story.
Like here.
Yeah, exactly. And so that means I always have to have like a final slide that I'm not going to use and remember to delete. This was a good webinar for me to attend.
Good. But actually now it's 11:20 and Søren has posted his link. So should we maybe watch it live?
Oh, Søren.
I hope if I click the link, and I hope we will be able to see it, right? When I'm sharing my screen, I'm not sure.
Yes.
Let's do it. 20 seconds as well. So we will have time to watch all the videos that you're creating. I'm pressing play now. Let's see. Eating values. No. High quality. Nice. I love the call out slides.
Yeah. This is great. This is corporate communication and content marketing.
Yes.
Sharing your values and your missions and visions. It's perfect. You should share that on your social channels today, Søren.
Do it.
Great work. Thank you.
And then I'm guessing that all of these core beat values or so, they have some explanation to them, right? So just an idea, maybe all of these single words or values or whatever it is could be its own video as well. So there's Søren, you have even more video ideas to do.
One value can also become its own video.
Explain each value.
With some context. That's great.
And then you would have certain content for how many words were there, but you will have it for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And that's also employer branding, to highlight those values, to make people come work for you if you're recruiting or.
Yeah, exactly. Mine is shit then. No,
don't ever say that about yourself.
we're gonna look at it together, and I promise you it's not. Let's see if I can click the link. Vision.
So I'm guessing, Mario, that you took this is the text that you didn't write like from your head now. This is actually published somewhere on your website or in your vision somewhere, which is like the perfect way to use StoryKit. Like you already have so much great text, in your missions, vision, value stock. That's perfect, because you know that it's well written. It's out there for a reason, and now you've made it into motion picture video.
Yeah, and I think you have not done anything wrong adding everything in one video, Mario, as well. I know some are actually always, or some clients have on their landing page or on their website, they have, or like on your YouTube channel where you can have longer videos. That's not an issue, I would say, because it will always be there. So people who are interested in this, they will go to your website or they will go to your YouTube and watch this in its whole, because then that's an active choice from them and for them. So it will be interesting for them to watch everything. But we can't maybe, if you were to post this on social media, LinkedIn, for instance, maybe then it would be worthwhile just dividing it a bit more. But I think it's always nice to have the master video, the master information in somewhere collected as well. You can post this on YouTube, for instance, or somewhere else, your website, and then take the first mission, make that into one video and post that next week. And then in 2 weeks, you take the last part of this video and post it, and everything will turn back to the original video, the full video. So that's also a way. So well done.
Very well done. Thank you for sharing. Andreas, I'm not able to create a preview. Am I stupid? You are not stupid. Let's have a look at it.
You're not stupid, Andreas. Where are you, Andreas, in your production process? So we can tell you how to create it. Oh, here it is. Now he actually sent the link. Okay, here you are. Sorry, Andreas. Now I just jumped into your script. I'm just assuming now that we can proceed with this. Please stop me if I'm doing something stupid now. We should click view storyboard to get away from this view. View storyboard. And then we want to click create storyboard just to get to the final environment, right? That I showed you before. So in here, perfect. And if we feel like we're done, generate full, and it starts loading. So we will soon be able to watch your finalized video as well. Should we do Anja's in between? This is with sound. I'm going to turn it off. Nice assets here, I think.
Very cool.
Oh, this is Duoline. I love this slide.
Me too. It's a favorite for the moment. Wow, that's a lot of products.
250,000 users. Are you ready? Yes. Nice. So this, I'm assuming, is some kind of, yeah, maybe I'm stupid, but I thought just by reading this, maybe it's about recruitment, but it could also be maybe partners or clients. Either how, very
It's great key takeaways from your all your achievements.
Yeah,
really great. Very well done.
Now Abby also posted
prompter.
This is so fun. It's like we're at the movies.
Yeah.
EPG Health, nice. Also nice asset. I like the purple.
Excellent work. Well done, Abby. I love that one.
Yeah, really, really nice. Short and sweet.
It's perfect.
This is so fun. It's so fun that you're posting and sharing. Should we see maybe if Andreas' video is done? Should be. Let's have a look.
Here's a filter on this asset that I really like. Ooh, these are your own assets. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think you find this in the stock library.
All right, it looks a bit too cool.
Nice. So this is for some kind of product pitch.
Yeah.
And how it's delivered as well. Short delivery time.
This is great. This is really the what people need to know. Mario asks, what's the name of this slide template? Oh, the one that Andreas used. Which one was that?
Yeah, which one are we at? This one, or which slide do you mean?
If it, I think it maybe the template in itself. The one with the text becoming darker previous video.
A previous video, let's go back.
Where the text was written out. Was a bit product update. Yes, that's prompter slide type prompter, and you can choose. So there's the text is already written out, but in very low opacity. You can take that all the way down to 0, so you will only have your actual text written out, or you can take it up to 50%, and that will just emphasize the message. I love prompter. I use it a lot. Chantal has to leave us. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, and I think it's about time for us to finalize, wrap it up. Exactly. This was super fun. Thank you so much to everyone who participated and has shared videos with us. Super helpful and super inspiring, I think. And hopefully we've shown that it's not super hard to create videos or finding the ideas to do so, because it could be anything. So that's what I'm bringing with me today.
Me too. And please share your videos in the Facebook group. You don't have to go to the thread. You can do it wherever, just to share an inspirational example for all of the other members. That's really what the group is for, to share insights and inspiration. And you can always ask questions and all that. And we will be doing this again.
Yes, we will, on another topic yet to be announced, I think.
We have some ideas, but it's on the 20th of April. So you are super welcome to join us then.
Yeah. Okay, well, have a great rest of the day, everyone. Thanks again. It was super fun getting to see what you've done and getting your reactions as well. So hope to see you next time, or in some other forum, hopefully.
Yeah. We will make sure to send out the recording of this and the slide deck, the presentation, So you can have that, read it whenever you like to on demand. Okay.
Okay, everyone. Take care and see you next time.
See you. Bye. Take care. Thank you.